Well, it's a new trading day at the fixed income market. Yesterday, the Central Bank of Nigeria released its issue program for the fourth quarter of the year and plans to sell about 1 trillion naira worth of treasury bills across 3 instruments. Well, let's talk to Toba Showemimo, one of the dealers at FSDH Merchant Bank, to tell us what to expect. Toba joins us now from the FMDQ market, please. Good morning, Toba. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Chimezi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so what do you traders make of the Treasury Bill issue program of the CBN for the fourth quarter released yesterday?
Well, we've already begun to see what's been happening in the market. There has been a lot of demand in the market. That is owing to the huge maturities that we expect to hit the system from September up until the last quarter. It's no surprise what you said. We still expect to see significant demand. Today, we already have a significant maturity, 554 billion naira. We expect to see demand trickle into the market, and we continue to see that demand for the rest of the quarter.
All right, so you mentioned there is a significant maturity today. How do you think this will affect the market?
Well, so far, there hasn't been any news of an OMO auction. But regardless of that, we still expect demand because those funds coming back into the system are going to definitely have to be utilized. So be it an OMO auction by the CBN or in the secondary market, or when next there's an NTB auction, we're going to continue to see consistent demand going forward.
All right, we'll just have one more trading day to say goodbye to this week. So what's the outlook for the rest of the week?
Well, the week as it started out, it's been demand all through the week. We don't expect anything different. We expect that that demand will still be. We will still see that demand in the secondary market today and even tomorrow, depending on what happens today. If there's an auction, depending on how much is sold, if there is an auction. If not, we just expect yields to trend downwards.
All right. What about the area of the currency market? How do we expect the naira to behave?
Well, the naira has been very, very, very stable. The CBN has been able to protect it significantly. There's no shaking on that. So it's been very, very good.
Like that, no shaking. Thank you, Toba, for your time. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Sam.
All right, we'll move over now to the equities market. Let's cross over to Temple at the trading floor. Good morning once again, Temple. Well, the market couldn't sustain the positive sentiment on Wednesday. A new trading day has started. What sentiment have you observed?
Well, it's still negative right now on Chimazie, but not shaking, as you said earlier, not shaking at all. I will just see a mix of buy sentiment and, of course, sell sentiment in the market right now. On some counters, we're seeing profits taking. On some, we're seeing a bit of buy interest on the part of investors. In recent times, we've got a news rather from UACN and UPDC. UACN, and of course another subsidiary of it, announcing some kind of restructuring and of course some kind of recapitalization exercise. And since yesterday, that has now really been pushing up the prices of these particular companies. We're seeing 10% gain on UACN right now this morning. Yesterday, we saw about the same thing because it went on bid yesterday. I guess investors have really gotten to understand what the intention of the board is with the announcement of the restructuring exercise and, of course, recapitalization exercise. So we're seeing that particular company maintaining its bid this morning. It's recovered all the way from 5 naira now to about 6 naira or thereabout. And so that's the kind of mood that the market is experiencing right now. A few other counters where we are seeing gains remains to be Champs PLC. That's a company that just announced the change of leadership yesterday to the market here. So it looks like some traders are hoping that the new manager managing director of the company, Mr. Young, will be able to deliver better than where he had actually found the company. So we're saying that particular company trading at 26 kobo. But on the flip side, representing the losses we are seeing on the key benchmark indices right now, we've seen some huge profits taken on the likes of UBA, which was up until yesterday, trading at 6 naira 30 kobo or thereabout. This morning has lost some 25 kobo. Looks like the 25 kobo is more of a profit to some investors who had waited and bought at a point when it was trading at 6 naira 1 kobo, 6 naira 5 kobo, because that's the range that we see it's trading at right now. And a few other counters we're seeing some profits taking, some sell down at this point. MTN is down. We're seeing some marginal loss on that right now, 0.1% on MTN at this point. We still can't say if it is a response to the xenophobic attack and the looting that we've seen, by here in Nigeria and the xenophobic attack in South Africa. We have to wait till the end of today before we can then judge what is actually pushing down the price of MTN, because up until the day before yesterday, we saw MTN actually rising, but yesterday it lost, having seen some sell-off on it. And, of course, a little bit of profit-taking sentiment there. This morning, we're seeing these losses, and we'll wait till the end of the markets to be able to say if it's the tussle that we're seeing between Nigeria and South Africa that is causing this whole decline in the share price.
All right. Well, for today, what are the stock picks for traders? What are traders' stock picks for today?
It's a mix of the industrial goods company and, of course, some of the consumer goods company. If you look at the industrial goods, investors have been really bullish on CCNN and WAPCO. These two key companies have returned to profitability by the decision that the board actually took last month. And so investors are really bullish on these two key companies. For the consumer goods side of things, we've got Nigerian breweries still trading at a low of for some 50 naira, 55 kobo or thereabouts. So this morning they issued a notice to the stock exchange clarifying the position of their managing director in a case that has to do with bribery and corruption. So we do hope that these will be able to clear the air for some investors and see how they can, pick this and buy better again. So we also know that Honeywell is available. Nestle has fallen to some 1,500, some 1,250 naira or even lower. That's a low price compared to the 1,500, 1,600 plus where this particular company, this foods giant, trades at. So we'll see. So today, some investors that will pick that and see how they can turn, make it turn it over for some profit for them by the time the price rises again. And basically, these are the two key counters to watch. We don't see anything positive for investors today around the oil and gas side of things. Neither do we see that being positive around the banking sector, because there are no catalysts to actually motivate investors, to bet on these two key sectors. The insurance side of things, perhaps some investors might look at that area and be able to take advantage of the low prices there.
Well, Temple, the day has just started. We'll wait and get more update from you later in the day. Thank you. Well, on that note, we draw the curtain on today's edition of the program. Thank you for being part of it. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwagu.